In this video, I'm going to show you how to extract an object out of a complicated background. Some of the images, let's say, some products, they have, let's say, a watch, but with a simple white background. Then that's very easy to just delete the background and move on and, change your background however you like. But let's say if you have an image like this, I'm going to open an image. So this has a little bit complicated background. It's just not pure white or pure black where you can just select all, delete the background, and then move the object to wherever you want. So over here, I'm going to show you how to basically extract and delete the background here. First thing first, we're going to double click this layer. Again, just want to remind you the software that I'm using that I found for you guys, it works a lot like Photoshop. But if you have Photoshop, I highly recommend to just use Photoshop. It's a lot easier. But this works just, it's good enough. It's called pixlr.com/editor right here. So you're able to upload your image and edit it from here, okay? So come over here. Before we do anything, look at this right here, okay? The background, okay? This is the default that they're going to lock this layer. But in order to have a transparent background where we can edit the background, what we like to do is first, we gotta unlock the layer, okay? Now we have the freedom to do whatever we want with this image, okay? Now what I'm going to do now is to use the eraser tool. The reason why I do this, it's important to do this is, okay, so I'm going to show you first. If you unlock it, now wherever you erase, your background will be transparent. How do you know it's transparent? Because you see these grids, okay? That means it's transparent. So whatever layer you put under it, let me show you, you'll be able to see it. So let's say I'm gonna put black. So now it's transparent. So whatever it is that I put under this layer, you'll be able to see it fully, okay? Now, but if you did not unlock this layer, whatever you erase, it will simply just become white. And you basically, it's just a layer by itself. And if you erase it, there's, even after you erase this whole background, it would just be white, and which that's okay too. But I want to show you how to completely erase the whole background, make it transparent so you can be flexible with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the eraser tool. If you come to the toolbox right here, eraser tool, and choose a smaller brush where it's kind of like this, and just a little bit transparent. I don't like to use the edgy ones unless, and I will show you later, these are very useful, but not around the object, because when I use the brush tool, it's not just giving it the edgy feeling, but unless your object is literally like square or rectangle where it's very clear edgy, then I would highly recommend to use one of these brush sizes. But over here, I'm going to use a little bit transparent ones to just make it a little bit more smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start erasing around the object. Now, one of the way you can do it is you're going to use your mouth and going in and around, and you might cut off some of the object, which I don't want to do. I made a mistake, so I'm going to do Control Z. So it goes back to what I used to do. What I like to do is I'm going to show you a little bit detailed way of clearing the background around the object. What you do is you take the eraser tool, you click on one side of it, and you hold on to Shift on your keyboard, and then go towards wherever direction you want. Okay, let's say this direction. Then it will start making a straight line. This way, you have more control of it instead of just kind of shaking your hand and going wherever you want. So this way, you have a little bit more control, and we're just gonna do a little bit at a time. So this way, I'm just continuously holding Shift. I'm not letting my Shift go on my keyboard as I erase, okay? I'm holding it, but you can't let it go if it's just one spot. Like, okay, I want to just let it go. I don't need a straight line. So straight line in one direction, that's what I mean, okay? So I'm just gonna go a little bit at a time. So I am in control of it. So my hand is not, because my hand shakes if I'm just doing a little bit at a time, okay? So a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I like to go around the object first, basically create an outline. So this way, it's easier to erase everything else later without touching my object at all. So over here, I'm doing slowly. Okay, you see I'm creating straight lines. Okay, we're almost there, almost there. Okay, if you just cut off a little bit, it's okay. Okay, that's too much. So I'm gonna come back here and go a little bit more. Okay, and we're almost there, we're almost there. Okay, go around this object. Okay, now I have it outlined. That means I can get another bigger brush. Now I'm gonna come use this big brush because it cleans very nicely, okay? But be careful, don't let this touch here, okay? If this is too big, let's go a little bit smaller so I can erase more easily. Okay, so now I'm just erasing the rest of it. Okay, now we need a little bit smaller brush to clean this area up. Okay. All right. So now you already have half of your image completely transparent. Your background is gone already. So once you're done with it, you can literally move your object freely anywhere you want or create a background color that you will like. Usually I like a clean, nice white background or black background, depending on what the object is. But since this watch is already a brown color, I think it would be nice to just have a white background. So how we create a background. Now, you see this? We're going to come over here to Move Tool. Move Tool is basically you can drag your object anywhere you want, because if you continue using this eraser tool and drag it, it will just erase it. We don't want to do that. So we use the Move Tool and we can move it however we want. Right now, it's not attached to any background right now. So it's completely free of background. What we're going to do is we're going to create another layer. So I'm going to come over here to New Layer right here. I'm going to move it under the watch layer, or else if you keep it on top, then whatever you do on here will cover the watch. So we don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to move the layer down, and then I'm going to come over here to Paint Bucket tool. So I've created a layer, and now I want either white background or a black background. So right now I have Paint Bucket tool. You can use this, or you can also use Brush tool. Brush tool, you basically have to paint it. But to save time, let's just use Paint Bucket tool. I'm going to use a white background. Oh, clearly I didn't clean my object clean enough. So if that's the case, you're going to come over here back to the layer and use the eraser tool. Now remember to go back to your layer, because if you stay in this layer, you'll be erasing this, this layer. So we don't want that. Now let's go back to our object layer. So I'm gonna start cleaning the rest of it, okay? So let's see, now I'm moving it up. Now going to clean, nice and clean. That's just me being really, anal about things. Because you want your customers to really think that you're providing some great quality stuff. So make sure you do your image as clean as possible, as beautiful as possible as you can, and just clean it nicely. Again, we're using the eraser tool. So I'm just watching it right now, saying, okay, did the best I can. Okay, now I have this as a black background. Now, I kind of want to try the white background as well. So I'm going to create another new layer. Just basically keep this layer, and I'm going to put it lower, just under the watch layer. I'm going to come over here to choose white. Okay. And if you don't want this layer, just unclick it so it's not showing anymore. And make sure you're on this empty layer so you can, when you put the Paint Bucket tool, it goes into this layer. So I personally think this watch looks prettier on a white background, but it's completely up to you. You can play with it. So this is how you basically extract an object from a complicated background and change to a different background that you like. So that's it for this video.